Right, so you know how it is. You're sitting there minding your own business, just enjoying a bit of peace and quiet. Maybe you're out in the garden, soaking up the sun. Or perhaps you're just lounging on the porch, letting the world drift by. It's one of those perfect moments where everything seems just right. Cup of tea, biscuits, watching telly. The usual stuff, right? It's the kind of day where you don't expect anything out of the ordinary to happen. Just a simple, relaxing time. But then, out of nowhere, your mind starts to wander. You begin to think about all sorts of things, like what you need to do tomorrow or that project you've been putting off. Suddenly, bang. Idea hits me like a runaway lorry. It's like a bolt of lightning, electrifying every neuron in your brain. You sit up straight, eyes wide open, heart racing. This isn't just any idea, it's a game changer, something so wild and out there that you can't help but get excited. Jet-powered bicycle. Why? Because why not? I mean, who wouldn't want to zoom around on a bike that's got the power of a jet engine? It's the kind of thing that makes you feel like a kid again, dreaming up crazy inventions and daring adventures. It'll be mental, dangerous, brilliant. Everything we love, yeah? Imagine the thrill, the adrenaline rush as you speed down the road, wind whipping through your hair. It's the kind of thing that makes life worth living, those moments of pure, unadulterated joy. Now I ain't no engineer, but I'm good at bodging things together. Give me some duct tape, a few tools, and a bit of time, and I can make just about anything work. It's all about creativity and a bit of elbow grease. Who needs a fancy degree when you've got determination and a can-do attitude? This ain't rocket science, right? Well, it kinda is with a jet engine involved. But, hey, details. We'll figure it out. It's all part of the fun, the challenge of making something incredible from scratch. And who knows, maybe we'll learn a thing or two along the way. But details, we'll figure it out. That's the spirit of adventure, isn't it? Not knowing exactly how things will turn out, but diving in head first anyway. It's about embracing the unknown and trusting that you'll find a way to make it work. First things first, gotta find a bike. Not just any bike though. It needs to be something special, something that can handle the power and speed of a jet engine. So off to the shed we go, rummaging through old bits and pieces, looking for that perfect candidate. Not your fancy carbon fiber nonsense. Needs to be sturdy, something that can handle a bit of jet propulsion. We're talking old school, built to last. The kind of bike that can take a beating and keep on rolling. It's gotta have character, a bit of history, something that tells a story. Off to the shed we go. It's like a treasure hunt, searching for that hidden gem among the clutter. And when we find it, oh boy, that's when the real fun begins. The start of an epic journey, turning a crazy idea into reality. Alright, we got the bike looking sorry for itself in the shed. Now for the fun part, the jet engine. Found a beauty online. Small but powerful, just like me mom always said. Had to sell a kidney to afford it, but hey, no pain, no gain, right? Next up, tools. Wrenches, spanners, blowtorch, duct tape, lots of duct tape, and a fire extinguisher. Safety first, always. Well, mostly. Oh, and can't forget the helmet. Got me lucky one with the horns on it. You know, for aerodynamics. Here comes the tricky part. Attaching a fire-breathing monster to a bicycle frame designed for leisurely Sunday rides. This is where the bodging skills come in handy. Measured twice, cut once. Well, actually, measured once, cut twice, then used a lot of duct tape to fix it. It's all about improvisation, right? Got the engine mounted, fuel lines connected, and a makeshift throttle on the handlebars. Looks like a Frankenbike, but that's the charm, innit? Of course, nothing goes smoothly when you're dealing with jet engines and duct tape. First the chain snapped, then the fuel line sprung a leak. Good thing for that fire extinguisher. And don't even get me started on the time the throttle jammed open. But hey, I'm a persistent bugger. Hours of tinkering, swearing, and more duct tape, and finally the beast was ready. Sort of. Standing there looking at this contraption, a wave of doubt washed over me. Was this a brilliant idea or utter madness? Probably both, but no backing down now. Put on me helmet, straddled the bike, and took a deep breath. Hearts pounding like a drum solo. This is it, time to unleash the beast. Fingers trembling, I flicked the ignition switch. Section 6, pedal to the metal. Not really. The engine roared to life with a deafening whoosh, scared the living daylights out of a flock of pigeons nearby. Good, let them know who's boss. Now here's the thing about jet engines. They don't have brakes. Once that throttle opens, you're along for the ride. No time for second thoughts now. I eased the throttle open, and the bike lurched forward. Section 7. Speed Demon or Slow Poke. This is where we dive into the thrilling world of speed and the not-so-thrilling world of, well, taking it slow. Whether you're a speed demon or a slow poke, there's something to be said about the joy of cycling at your own pace. Right, gotta be honest. It wasn't exactly a rocket launch. The bike moved at a pace that could be described as leisurely at best. But there's a certain charm in that, isn't there? The world slows down, and you get to take in every detail around you. The trees, the birds, the gentle hum of the tires on the pavement, more like a snail that had a particularly energetic morning, but it was moving. And sometimes that's all that matters. The journey itself becomes the destination. You notice things you'd otherwise miss in the blur of speed. The cracks in the road, the smell of fresh-cut grass, the distant laughter of children playing, and with a sound that could wake the dead. This bike wasn't just about getting from point A to point B, it was about making a statement. The roar of the engine, the vibrations underfoot, it all added to the experience. It was like riding a beast that had been tamed just enough to let you steer it. The ground vibrated beneath me as the jet engine screamed its fury. It was exhilarating and terrifying all at once. The sheer power of the machine was palpable, and it felt like I was riding a rocket on wheels. Every twist of the throttle sent a jolt of adrenaline through my veins. The wind whipped past my face, trying to rip the grin off it. I was flying, or at least, it felt like I was. The speed was intoxicating, a rush that made everything else fade away. The world became a blur, and all that mattered was the here and now, the thrill of the ride. Well, not really flying, more like very fast scooting. But in those moments it didn't matter. The sensation of speed was enough to make me feel like I was defying gravity. Every pedal stroke was a push against the limits, a challenge to go just a little bit faster. But hey, speed isn't everything, right? Sometimes it's about slowing down and enjoying the ride. Taking a moment to breathe, to look around, to appreciate the beauty of the world around you. It's in these moments of stillness that you find a different kind of joy, one that's just as fulfilling as the rush of speed. It's about the journey, the experience, the sheer ridiculousness of it all. Whether you're racing down a hill or leisurely pedaling through a park, the essence of cycling remains the same. It's the freedom, the adventure, the simple pleasure of being on two wheels. So whether you're a speed demon or a slow poke, remember to enjoy every moment of the ride. Section 8, close calls and burnt rubber. Okay, maybe speed is a little bit important, especially when you're trying to stop a jet-powered bicycle with no brakes. There were a few close calls, let me tell you, like the time I nearly took out the neighbor's fence, or when I almost became a human projectile thanks to a particularly deep pothole. And the smell, burnt rubber, jet fuel, and a hint of fear. It was intoxicating. Section 9, epic win. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, the culmination of countless hours of brainstorming, tinkering, and sheer determination. The question on everyone's mind is simple yet profound. Was it an epic win? So, was it an epic win? Well, that depends on how you look at it. Success can be measured in many ways, and sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination. Depends on how you define win. If by win, you mean achieving exactly what we set out to do without any hiccups, then maybe not. But if you consider the experience, the learning, and the sheer fun of it all, then it was a win in more ways than one. Did it work? Sort of. The jet engine did propel the bicycle forward, albeit not as smoothly or as quickly as we had hoped. But seeing it in action, even for a brief moment, was a sight to behold. Did it go fast? Not really. Our dreams of zooming down the street at breakneck speeds were quickly tempered by the reality of physics and engineering limitations. But hey, it moved, and that's something. Was it dangerous and completely mental? Absolutely. There were moments when we questioned our sanity, especially when the flames and smoke started to appear. But those are the moments that make for the best stories, don't they? But most importantly, did we have a laugh? Oh, you bet we did. The camaraderie, the shared jokes, the collective gasps and cheers. Those are the memories that will stick with us long after the project is over. Did we push the boundaries of what's possible, and maybe common sense? Without a doubt. We ventured into uncharted territory, experimenting with ideas that seemed outlandish at first, but became tangible with a bit of effort and a lot of creativity. You bet your sweet bippy we did. The sense of accomplishment, the high fives, the cheers, those moments of pure joy and celebration are what make all the hard work worth it, and that's what it's all about, innit? It's not just about the end result, but the journey, the friendships forged, and the memories created along the way. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got a hankering for a cuppa and maybe a lie down. After all that excitement, a bit of relaxation is well deserved. This jet-powered business is tiring work. But every